Hey winners, I'm Nam, and today in this video, I'm gonna give you an in-depth look of my DIY credit repair software, CreditRehab Pro. This is the ultimate DIY credit repair software that allows you to repair your own credit with just a few clicks and a few minutes of your time. For years, I've been sharing knowledge on credit repair, from removing hard inquiries to handling complex credit issues. I've seen firsthand the struggles that many of you face, trying to navigate the maze of credit reports, disputes, and endless paperwork. That's why I have been committed to finding a more streamlined, more effective solution, and that's why we have CreditRehab Pro. This is more than just a software, it's your personal credit assistant. It's designed to take the complexity out of credit repair, making it accessible for everyone. Whether you're dealing with late payments, collections, or even bankruptcies, CreditRehab Pro is equipped to handle it all. With its user-friendly interface, CreditRehab Pro offers tools that work across all three credit bureaus, crafting professional dispute letters and tracking your progress every step of the way. What's more is that it provides monthly updates on your credit report and score, highlighting both your successes and areas that need attention. That's why in this video, I'll walk you through CreditRehab Pro in detail. We'll explore how it simplifies the credit repair process, how it can empower you to take control of your financial health, and how it stands out from anything else on the market. There will be complete timestamps for you to skip around if you like, so you can refer to different parts later. But if this is your first time watching this video, I highly recommend you watch it till the very end to better understand credit repair and how this software can help you remove negative items. So whether you're thinking about hiring a company or just want to know how to do it yourself, this video has something for you. If you want to skip this video and just want to try the software for yourself already, you can check it out right here, and there will be a link down in the description. So let's lay the groundwork for credit repair. This is something that you must know before doing it yourself or hiring a company. So the whole idea behind credit repair comes down to your right as a consumer, the rights that you have that are based on federal and state laws. The reason why credit repair is legal is because you have the right to delete any inaccurate, incomplete, and outdated negative information on your credit report, either by disputing items with the credit bureaus directly or with the furnishers that reported the information. This could be credit card companies, lenders, and debt collection agencies. Anytime that you dispute anything, these companies are required to give you the results within 30 days. Once you get these results, you see what has happened and decide what to do next. One of the key laws to be aware of is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, also known as the FCRA. If you ever heard of any other credit repair agencies talk about 609 letters, they're referring to Section 609 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So under this video, I'll post a full copy of the FCRA down below. So what the FCRA is just a set of laws that are in place to promote the accuracy, fairness, and privacy of your personal information that is related to your credit. So since this booklet is over 100 pages long, I'll just give you a brief overview of what you need to know and understand your rights. You have the right to know what's on your credit report. You must be notified if the information on your credit report has been used against you. You have the right to dispute any incomplete or inaccurate information, and the credit bureau must correct or delete it within 30 days from the time they received the dispute. This is what makes credit repair possible. Credit bureaus may not report any outdated information. Your credit profile may only be shared with the people or companies with a valid need, usually to consider an application for credit, employment, insurance, or renting. Whenever you do receive any sort of junk mail or emails talking about you're being pre-approved for credit cards or loans, these companies get this information from the credit bureaus, which is called a pre-screen offer. You have the right to block these companies from getting this information. You also have the right to block access to your credit profile if you feel like you may be a victim of identity theft. You have the right to place a security freeze, and you also have the right to remove the freeze whenever you like. If your rights are violated, you may seek damages. This means that you're able to sue the credit reporting agency or pretty much any other person or entity that violates the law for any non-compliance with the law within 2 years after you discover the harmful behavior, or within 5 years after the harmful behavior occurs, whichever comes sooner. There are many local attorneys that will sue the credit bureaus if there are any violations of this law, and most of them do work on a contingency basis, meaning that you would not have to pay them any money unless they know that they can win the case and collect. To fully understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it can be a course on its own. But for the scope of this video, you really just need to understand the basics to get started with credit repair and get results. In addition to the FCRA, there are many states out there that have laws that are very similar to this at the state level, which can provide you with greater protection for its consumers. So now that you understand how credit repair is legal and how it works, you're probably thinking, that's great and all, but will credit repair work for me? Let me be honest with you. There is no magic bullet out there that can delete everything off your credit report. It's just not possible. I know that you may not want to hear this, but if you cause the late payments, collections, or whatever negative it is, and everything checks out like there's a lot of proof and receipts, only time can solve this. What credit repair agencies and our software does is by trying to make sure the problem is verifiable and has proof to back it up. Most of the time, the bureaus are lazy with their investigations or not able to verify it, so the negative gets removed. But what is guaranteed is if you do nothing, your credit will remain low and it will eventually creep up slowly until the negative falls off, usually in 2 to 10 years. So now let's talk about how we can use CreditRehab Pro to fix your credit. So let's talk about how you can get started. You can go to my website, which is namwin.com/CreditRehab Pro, which will also be linked down below. So once you go on that link, this is the landing page that you should fall on, and this is what it will look like. It will give you a quick intro of what CreditRehab Pro is and how it can help you. So as you scroll down, this is everything that you get with the subscription. So you get customized dispute letters that's tailored to your unique situation. You can dispute as many accounts as you would like, track your results and progress. You also get access to a private Facebook group where you can connect with other members who are currently going through the same thing as you are. And plus you can bounce ideas with each other. And plus I'm always in there as well to answer your questions. There's also other exclusive training lessons specific towards personal credit repair, business credit, and other things of the sort. Other exclusive trainings such as dealing with the CFPB and other things that relates to credit repair. You can also view this video here. This will give you a quick intro of the software and how it works and what you can expect. Here are some case studies that show the results after 1 month of customers using CreditRehab Pro. After 1 month, this customer had increased 32 points on TransUnion, 88 points on Experian, and 77 points on Equifax. This one had 14 points on TransUnion, 48 on Experian, and 53 on Equifax. So this person right here has 6 collection accounts. This person had 15 negative items that were able to be cleared from their credit report. There are also more results that you can see in the private Facebook group where everybody goes over their wins, their losses, and things that are helping them out currently with their credit. Now, this also goes over the cost. I'll also go over this a little bit later in the video too. Like if you were to hire a credit repair company like Lexington Law, CreditRepair.com, or any other mom and pop shop out there, there's usually a monthly fee, typically anywhere between like $90 to like $100 some per month. You would also have to sign up for credit monitoring, which can range anywhere between like $20 to like $30 on top of that per month. So with CreditRehab Pro, I know that I have the 39.95 cents per month. The software itself does not have any fees. So what this only costs is technically the subscription to Smart Credit, which is the credit monitoring service that is required for the software to work properly. So the software itself, no charge. You just only need a subscription to Smart Credit, which will cost you about $40 a month for this software to work correctly. Now, for you to actually join, all you gotta do is there's a bunch of links here that you can press to join here, and I'll walk through that. So from there, you just enter your first name, last name, email, create a password, then you just go on to the next step. Then from there, you would add your profile. This will include other personal details, your addresses, and from there, it will ask you to link a credit report. So once you add the details of your profile, this is where you would have to link the 3-barrel credit report, which is the only fee to use the software. So if you already have an account, then you would have to reach out to Smart Credit's customer service support team to have this set up correctly so it would work with CreditRehab Pro. So whenever you sign up for Smart Credit, there are other features that you get access to. So with your subscription, you get access to your credit score, you get your score tracker, which is seeing your progress with your score builder, basically coming up with a plan to help you with your credit score, and score boost, which allows you to figure out how to pay down certain credit cards so it can predict how much your credit score would jump if you were to lower your utilization. There's also budgeting tools that you can use to help you organize your money. What I really like about Smart Credit is that there is a privacy and fraud insurance protection. So in case of you are involved with identity theft, you get $1 million of identity theft fraud insurance for you and your whole family. And you also get access to removing data from companies that might be breached. And you also get access to this thing called Privacy Master, which stops websites or data brokers from sharing or selling your personal information. So as a snapshot, this is what you get with Smart Credit, which you also get a private login for. So once you have everything set up and you linked it to CreditRehab Pro, let's hop over to the dashboard to see what it looks like. So now that you've created an account and linked the 3-barrel credit report, your dashboard should look something like this. So first, let's start off with the home page. So there are also other tabs for like your credit items, dispute letters, my history, and tutorials, but I will go over each one of them in this video. So let's start off with the home dashboard. The layout is pretty simple. There's credit scores from all 3 barrels are at the very top. So underneath that is the dispute plan. That's gonna show me exactly what to do for my credit repair, but more on that in a second. Now below that is the credit report provider. Right now, CreditRehab Pro only works with Smart Credit. I know that some of you guys have asked if it works with other providers, but it currently does not. And also this software is only meant for US residents. So below is the credit item section where CreditRehab Pro separated all of the positive accounts from the negative accounts. Green means good, orange means that it's in the works, and red means that there are negative items that still remain. Now, you can dispute a bunch of things. You can dispute inquiries, late payments, charge-offs, collections, foreclosures, repossessions, and much more. So this also separates your accounts, your public records, and also your inquiries. This is pretty similar of how a credit report is broken down if you ever looked at one. So this right here just makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on with your account. Now, scrolling down a little bit more, based on your credit, you can see what personal credit offers that you have the best chances for approval. This can include traditional unsecured cards and secure cards. Now, to the right is your account information. This includes your personal info, your name, your email, your address, whether or not you uploaded your photo ID and proof of address. Also, one thing to ensure of is that all of your data is secure and encrypted, so you are protected there. Now, at the very bottom, we have extra support in case if you need it. Most of your questions can be answered in the FAQ section if you have any. This can also be general questions like how long credit repair takes, or specific questions about your account or credit monitoring. There's also a quick link that goes to more coaching and tutorials and extra resources, but I'll go over that a little bit later. If you ever have any questions that you can't find in the FAQ, you can always reach us out right here. So the number that I have listed here is for Smart Credit or ScoreMaster, since most of the issues are related to credit monitoring and linking up correctly. So they're the ones who are able to help you out with that. So now let's go back to the very top of our dashboard and start disputing or repairing our credit. So starting with TransUnion, let's click Create Dispute Letter. So by default, CreditRehab Pro presents all of my negative accounts. So let's scroll back to the very top. Let's pick a random one, which is this Bank of Missouri credit card. So let's go over this account, right? This shows the status of the account, which is closed, the account number, the credit limit that was presented, which was the highest balance. When was the account open? When it was closed? This one shows that this one is a 90-day delinquency, which is a 90-day late. And this actual account was closed by the furnisher. So how CreditRehab Pro works is that it will give you a suggested reason. So it analyzes your report like over different potential errors and suggests the best dispute reason for your specific case based on the negative information being reported. So the suggested reason is a duplicate creditor error. And this one says that this account is being reported on my credit report multiple times with the same creditor and opening date. So please remove this error and any negative information on this account immediately. So essentially, there are multiple negatives of the exact same delinquency on your credit report, which is also dragging your credit score much lower. So getting this resolved, which this is an error, should help with this person's credit score. So let's scroll down a little bit more to see, can we look at something else? So let's take a look at this collection report, okay? So this one still has a balance of $580. It's still open. The original creditor is Citibank. This one gives us a suggested reason for debt contract requested. I never had a contract with this debt collector or any debt. Please provide proof from the original creditor that this debt collector owns the debt and has the legal authority to collect it or delete this debt. So this is actually by law. Normally, when the original furnisher, in this case Citibank, sells the debt to a debt collection agency, the debt collection agency that's taken over that debt should notify you in a letter called like a DUNS letter, which in 30 days you have to respond whether or not this debt is yours, right? So sometimes you may not receive this letter. So this is where they would have to find out whether or not that this debt was actually sold to another debt collection agency, and if the debt collection agency has notified you in the correct manner and in the timely manner that they do now owe this debt and they're here to collect. So let's scroll down a little bit more and see your public records. So this one has 2 bankruptcies almost around the same date. So it's possible that there was a duplicate. So let's click on one. This one shows it was discharged. This one shows it was dismissed. So the suggested reason for each one of this is that this one recognizes that this is a public record. Please provide proof from the court of this public record. The second one, this Chapter 7 bankruptcy is reporting status of discharge, but my credit report is still showing a balance due on an auto loan account that was opened prior to the bankruptcy. There's a lot here that's going on. When there are accounts that were tied to a bankruptcy and those accounts still showed a balance, that's an error right there because they should be all wiped out from this bankruptcy. And the thing about bankruptcies is that it's public record data, and normally court systems do not report this information to the credit bureaus directly. The way that these actually land onto your credit report is by other credit bureaus such as like LexisNexis and other bureaus that deal with public records, and they furnish this data or sell this data to the credit bureaus, and that's how it lands on your credit report. But technically, the original furnisher, the one who actually has the negative information or the one that knows about it, they're the ones who are the ones supposed to report the information. And with most like public record items, the court system are usually not the ones who ever report this information. Now below that, we have inquiries. There's a lot of them. The thing that you have to keep in mind with inquiries is that you should only dispute items or inquiries on accounts that are not open, okay? So if you are gonna dispute inquiries that are tied to open accounts, you have run a high high risk of automatic shutdown for those accounts. Now, for me, I personally don't even like to dispute inquiries from furnishers that you have accounts with. Let's just say that you have a bunch of inquiries from like Chase, right? But you have Chase accounts. For me, I normally do not like to dispute those inquiries just due to the fact that you will get like flagged on your account for like high risk of fraud, and there could be a potential shutdown for some of your accounts as well. So normally I like to just dispute inquiries that are not tied to any accounts and maybe to furnishers that you have no relationship with. So now, armed with this information of all the negative stuff, so let's pick a few items and we can start creating our dispute letter. So you can actually click all of these if you want. You could click 1, you could click 100, all right? It doesn't really matter. So your first round of letters, I personally like to just click all of them. So let's just do a couple here and there just to give you an example of how it looks. So let's click a few here. So once you have the negative items checked, let's go to the very top. You click right here, 9 items selected, click next. So up here, it just also shows the workflow, what happens, okay? So first you select your items, you add the disputed reason, then you confirm that you want to create this letter. So right now, there's 5 accounts, 1 public record, 3 inquiries. This also gives you a brief snapshot of every account that's going on the status. All of these automatically are negative. So what we need to do next is add a dispute reason. So normally the software itself will give you a suggested reason. These have the highest probability of success, all right? So the selected reason for this Bank of America credit card, which is a 60-day late, it states that I don't remember ever being late with this payment on this account. Please provide statements and records of all payments made and missed since I opened this account. Now, you can always make any changes to this specific reason. Now, you could always add more or less. You could take out a sentence if you want. You could say like, I don't like this. Don't say that, but you get the gist, right? You can customize it to your own specific situation. You could always select a different reason. Custom reason just allows you to type whatever you want. There could be other different type of reasons such as incorrect balance, victim of identity theft, never late, was sent to collections. These are more factual disputes. So if you know that it is incorrect or a victim of identity theft or you previously disputed this, if there's any other reason that you think is a better fit, you have the full ability to select those. So let's just go with the suggested reason, which is don't remember being late. So with that, let's just press save. So let's add a dispute reason for all of our accounts. This one's 60 days late, don't remember being late. Let's just save that. Charge off account, don't remember being late. This one was a charge off, also charge off. Let's just all pick the suggested reason. This is a charge off balance error, which is the suggested reason. This one's a little different. Let's do negative items. Discharge status error. Let's do some inquiries. You don't recognize this. You don't recognize this. Okay. All right. So now we added the dispute reason for all of our accounts, public records, and inquiries. Let's go to the next step and finish this up. Press finish. Then from there, it will email you to your account email that you have on file. So in this case, this is a demo account. Then from this page right here, you can automatically create a Experian dispute or your Equifax dispute, or you can just go to your dashboard. So it's all right here. So you can just keep going through the process. So let's just create one for Experian. So give you an example. Let's just click 2 here. So you can see like the information here is a little different. Like there's different accounts on Experian and TransUnion. There's less collections on this credit report. Let's click this one. Let's click bankruptcy, couple inquiries, and let's click next. As for the disputed reason, let's do all the same things. Of course, this is just an example for you guys to see what this can do. Of course, on your actual credit reports, take some more time to make sure that the disputed reason does align with what's going on your credit report, okay? All right, so press finish. Same thing, mail to us. Let's create one for Equifax, okay? Let's just do one thing, just so give you an example of how it looks when you have all 3 disputes out. Don't remember being late. This one's a 60-day late. Save it, finish. All right, email to me as well. Now let's hop back to the dashboard. Now the dashboard looks a little bit different. So during the dispute plan, the letter was created today, and this tells you that you need to send the letter out by the 11th, so which is like 2 days from now. Only mark this letter as sent when you actually put it in your mailbox. The reason being is that once you mark it as sent, there's a internal tracker or a timer that starts that says like, okay, in 30 days, or usually it takes up to 40 days for this to update, just because of like mailing times, mailing there and mailing back. I will have a timer of when you should get an update, of when you should expect a response to your letter. Okay, so let's just say that the letter was actually sent today. I just got back from my mailbox. Okay, I'll mark this letter as sent today. See, this is what it will look like. All right, so this is what it will look like once you mark it as sent. Okay, if you're asking what this is directly tied to your credit monitoring. It updates every 40 days. So once you get results in the mail, there's no need for you to input any type of information into the software, because the software will automatically read the updated credit report and know exactly what to do next. Now that we marked the letters as sent and you probably got an email, let me show you exactly what the actual letters even look like, okay? Because you guys probably won't know what's going on unless I show you, unless you sign up for the software, okay? So let's go to the dispute letters. So let's take a look at TransUnion. This one shows as sent. You can actually preview what it actually looks like. So here's the name, your address, the date. This is also where you would actually have to write in a little bit. You have to write in your birth date and your social security number, since we don't store that information in the software. This is the actual address that you send to the credit bureaus. So this is TransUnion actual address. So on this letter, it says, "Dear TransUnion, I'm writing to dispute the following information that appears on my TransUnion report from 12/4/2023. So all of this information is laid out in a way that the credit bureaus actually prefer. So it says the account number, from which furniture, when it was open and when it was closed, not when you're closed, but when it was open, if there's a balance, and it gives you a specific reason, okay? Now, I know a lot of people ask me, like, does these letters actually like state the actual codes and laws from the FCRA? Now, it is not necessary to actually state the laws or what laws or codes that the credit bureaus are breaking, because they don't really care about that. They know the law, all right? Their main job is that once you set up the dispute, it's for them to conduct an investigation, all right? So whether you send a professional letter like this, which is a little bit more neat and organized, or if you send a dispute on a napkin and you mail it to them, they probably will open up a dispute. I'm not saying that you should, but this is laid in a way that's very organized that they can see, like, okay, this account from this furniture, when it was open, whatever the balance was, this is the reason. Okay, let's look into this. All right, so let's close the preview here. Go back to the homepage. So as you guys can see, CreditRehab Pro did all of the heavy lifting for me, and it's also going to track all of the disputes here. Now let's go over each one of the tabs on top of your dashboard. All right, so you can see what to expect. So first, let's click on credit items. So this is a very similar window as you've seen previously when we were creating our disputes. So you can filter all of this information just for positive accounts, which is all in the green. This is everything that's good about your account. You can see negative, which is red. You can also see the updated dispute status, which ones that are currently in disputing. Once you get items that are deleted, you will see them here. And also you will see items that were repaired right here. Repaired means items that were kind of updated or adjusted. Now you could also filter out the dispute status as well, things that has suggested, things that are already created, items that are sent, and disputes that have already been completed as well. Now at the very top, you can actually view different type of accounts. As you can see here, this is TransUnion accounts. Experian, you can see all the Experian accounts, and you can also do that for Equifax. Now that pretty much does it for the credit items. Let's go over to the dispute letters. With the dispute letters tab, this is where you'll find all the letters that you created in the past. So this is where you can also re-download or have them resent to your email. So the only way that you can actually get these actually resent, since we already marked them as sent, if you press do not send yet, it would just revert back to what it would look like if you didn't mark it as sent, okay? So you could re-download or print as you were here. You could download or print that letter. You can have it resent to your email, or you can just preview it on the actual webpage, right? And you can actually edit it as well. If you want to add more stuff or take off some stuff, you can actually do it here in this tab here, okay? So let's just continue to mark it as sent. Select method, US mail. But yeah, I also want to clarify that when you send your letters, US mail is more than enough, okay? Which is just a plain stamp, okay? All you need is one. You can do certified mail. I feel like certified mail is much more important when you are sending letters to debt collection agencies, just because you want to make sure that they actually get it. But with the credit bureau, they receive thousands and thousands of thousands of letters per day. US mail, single stamp is plenty. So this is what it'll look like. Now let's click the My History tab. So this will keep a track of your progress throughout the months when you're doing your credit repair process. So you would also see like how much your score has jumped from the beginning until present. So as of right now, this is the current credit reports that they have right now for me. This is a demo account, so we don't have all of the extensive information here, but once you sign up for CreditRehab Pro, you would see a tracking history of your credit scores with all three of the major bureaus. So you see that for Equifax as well, and it will show you like when their reports are updated every 40 days. So in January 14th, which will be my next update, I would see new credit scores, that line right below this. Now here's a very important tab that I feel like a lot of people don't utilize as much, but if you do sign up for the software, you definitely should. So in tutorials, this will have all of the quick start videos, okay? What the quick start videos is basically a complete walkthrough of the software, essentially what I'm making right now, that you can complete probably in less than 20 minutes. I feel like the most important ones is this last one, the results and the follow-up, okay? Because a lot of people watch this getting started, what goes into the dashboard, creating the dispute letters themselves, and they forget what to do afterwards. Most of the time, the software will just tell you what to do afterwards. Like, okay, you got results from TransUnion. Now it's still on their credit report. We have to keep disputing with a different suggested reason. So this is probably the most important one. the results and follow-up. But also under the tutorials tab, there's a coaching tab. This is the private Facebook group. So once you make an account, you can join there to hang out with other members and get some feedback from me, or you have any questions I can help you with. This also provides more tutorials on other credit repair topics. So unfortunately with the software, it won't be able to remove your personal information that's incorrect. That's something that you would have to do manually. I find the quickest way to actually do that is actually to update it through the website with the credit bureau. That's usually the quickest, but you can do it by mail. I do have extra letter templates as well. More information about collections, CFPBs, how to settle collections. In the case that your collections disputes are not successful, you may want to consider a pay for deletion. There's also information here when collectors attempt to sue, which may happen if you open up a case when you are disputing any negative collection account. That's always a possibility. Also, there's specific stuff about how to handle repossessions as well. Now, here are some extra resources such as a goodwill letter template, missing credit bureaus, because sometimes people don't have that much credit information or they're newer to credit. So they may have reports for TransUnion and Equifax, but not for Experian. So in this case, you can send a letter in to actually populate something. So with the software, like once you link your 3-bureau report, you get all this information, okay? So you get all of the letters, access to more information about different credit repair topics. So it's not just only the software, it's additional information as well. Now up here is your account information, is your profile essentially. So you go to your account. This shows all your personal information. You can update this at any time, your phone number, your email, passwords. You can add additional information like your last names, first names, things of the sort. You can upload your documentations like photo ID, proof of address, more information of like what you should upload as a proof of address. The strongest things are usually utility bills, something that requires you to actually be there. So those are the best things: utility bills, cable bills, something that states that you actually live there. Bank statements are okay, but typically utility bills hold the most weight. Now, this is also where you can find your plan with Smart Credit. This is where you can manage your account as well. So a lot of people ask about like canceling their account, like how would they go about doing that since CreditRehab Pro does not charge any fee. The only fee is that you need credit monitoring. So this is actually how you would actually manage that account. So if you were to cancel this account, then you would not get access to CreditRehab Pro anymore. But if you were able to link your Smart Credit account again, then you get access to all its features. All right, so now that we covered all the tabs and the pages of your credit report, now let me show you an example of how it will look in future months with another demo account. So CreditRehab Pro will import your new 3-bureau reports and compare it to the last one. So after analyzing thousands of data points, the AI finds every single change that took place, including the accounts that were repaired and deleted from each bureau. But just as important, it lets me know what accounts were not deleted, so they can be disputed again. So with this demo account, on TransUnion, 2 accounts were repaired and 4 were deleted. On Experian, 2 accounts were repaired and 3 were deleted. On Equifax, 1 account was repaired and 3 accounts were deleted. Not too bad for round 1 disputes. Now, we got to the most important part, the round 2 follow-up letter. So when you send round 1 disputes, creditors commonly provide an automated response that says the account has been verified to be reporting accurately. It is very possible that you'll get the response from your first disputes. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says that when a creditor receives a dispute, they must conduct a reasonable investigation. It's possible that no investigation of any kind was done as a result of the first dispute letters. It is your right to disagree and ask for proof of that investigation. That's what your round 2 dispute is all about. This is why the dispute process is a multi-letter process. Let's create a round 2 follow-up dispute letter. The process is the same as before. Here's the date that I have to send out my letter by. Starting with TransUnion again, I have to click Create Dispute Letter. I'm presented with all the accounts that I disputed last month that are negative and didn't get deleted or repaired. Notice when I click the plus button, it remembers this account completed a round 1 dispute. Now, the software knows it's time to change to a round 2 dispute strategy, and we can see a new suggested reason below. It's an escalation from the dispute from last month. I've selected all 6 accounts. Scrolling down, I can see 2 of my inquiries from last month were removed. I'm happy with that and now have 6 items selected. Click Next. Just like round 1, I can accept the suggested reason or choose another reason from the drop-down menu if I think it's a better fit. Here's a tip for better results. It is a good idea to go with the round 2 suggested reasons if the bureaus do not provide you with the results of their investigation. It's a great follow-up and says to the creditor and the credit bureaus both that you're not going away. Follow-up is key with the dispute and repair process. And just like I did with my round 1 disputes, click Next and the software emailed me the round 2 dispute letters to me. From here, I would now move on to create my Experian and Equifax dispute letters, assuming that I have accounts on those bureaus to dispute. But for now, let's go back to the homepage. The dispute plan lets me know that I created my dispute letter on this date and I need to send it out no later than this date. I want to give the bureaus all the time that I can, so I'm going to mail out my letters tomorrow. I'll click Mark Letter as Sent and add the date. And that's round 2. In 40 days, the software will link with my credit report provider to bring the next credit report. The AI will scan it again and compare it to the previous credit report and let me know if it was repaired or deleted. From there, I can move on to round 3, and after that, round 4, and even round 5 if the software finds a new error. With each round, the software tracks results and guides you through each step. So by now, I'm pretty sure that you get the gist of how the program works and how it can help you with your credit repair. It makes the whole process way easier, efficient, and even empowering. If this resonates with you, and if you're ready to take the first step, give it a try. Again, there's no cost to use the software. It only requires an active monitoring subscription for it to work properly, since it will be pulling that data from those reports. You can find the link down in the description below, and if you want to hang out with me some more and learn more about credit, check out these videos over here.